Hello, everyone. It is Dr. Siobhan here. I am so excited to be back with you for our challenge, right? Our self-care challenge. I always love doing challenges, especially like 5-day challenges, because it's amazing how on day one, like everybody is like all in, right? Everybody is commenting, everybody's ready to go. The energy and enthusiasm is like as high as it's ever going to be. And then by day 2, people are still, riding the wave of motivation and good intentions and all of that great stuff. And then you get to day 3. And I don't know the exact percentage, but a good portion of people sort of either get behind or fall off completely. And I wonder what kind of person you are, right? So if you're watching this video live, you're probably in this challenge to win this challenge. If you're catching the replay, awesome. You're in it to win it. But there's a fine line between those who sort of fall off and then will themselves to catch up, and those who fall off and stay down, right? And there's a whole lesson in that dynamic that I'm not going to touch right now, but I hope that you are watching this video, all of you who have started out on this challenge with me, and I look forward to us all finishing strong. Lucretia, I hope I said that correctly. Tell me if I didn't. It's so wonderful to see you. You have a beautiful profile picture there. That's all I can see. So today, and I probably should have titled this self-care challenge to make it really clear that this goes along with the challenge we're doing. But today I thought I would talk about 6 warning signals that are telling you you need to take a break, right? And a lot of this stuff we know, but a lot of this stuff we ignore, or a lot of this stuff we put off, or a lot of this stuff we just decide is not that important. And so this live stream is really more than anything a reminder to you, a reminder to me, a reminder to all of us that our bodies are wise. Our bodies speak to us in ways that we probably don't even recognize. And it's so important for us to get into the habit of listening to our bodies, having that ability to tune into your own physical body, your own physical space, your own physical being is incredibly important, not only as we think about self-care and taking better care of all of the dimensions of who we are as individuals, but from a straight up health perspective. I can't tell you how many times I've had conversations with friends or family members, and they've gone to the doctor, and the doctor's like shown them away and said like, oh no, it's nothing. And they're like, but wait, no, I know my body. This is not normal for me. This doesn't feel okay. Let's keep looking. And then they keep looking and they find something major, right? So our bodies are sensitive. Our bodies are wise, and we have to get into the habit of listening to our bodies. And so I'm going to be speaking a lot from sort of our physical signals, the messages we are getting from our bodies that we need to take a break, that we need to sit down, we need to take a time out, we need to go on a retreat, we need to get on a getaway, we need to do something to refuel, recharge, and renew ourselves. And I just want you, as you listen to this list, to really just think about which ones are the most true for you right now. And I'll be sharing my own for sure. And so one warning signal is that you wake up tired. Like, it's kind of the weirdest thing, right? How can you get several hours of sleep and you still wake up tired? Maybe you're taking a nap. Hey, Kanisha, so great to have you on. Maybe you're able to take a nap on a weekend, but that's just not enough, right? So you wake up tired, and then you remain exhausted throughout the day. Like there's just no catching up on sleep. There's no amount of rest that you feel like you can get that will put you back at baseline, right? And obviously that is a telltale sign that you're just not getting enough sleep. And so that is for sure a warning signal. Hey, Shanetta, yes, waking up tired, guilty. Yeah, we all, you know, me too. Me too. Especially with these kids, ladies, these kids. And so then what does that lead to? And this is the cycle that I found myself on, that I finally literally just jumped off. Like I jumped off of the moving vehicle because this is where I was headed, was, yeah, Kenesha, was caffeine overload. Like I then needed caffeine to get me through the day. Like I wake up tired and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to get some coffee. I have to get something to jumpstart me, to move me in the right direction. And so then I became a frequent visitor and a frequent consumer of Dunkin' Donuts, which is just no good. I mean, nothing against Dunkin' Donuts. They have a lovely, delicious business, but being addicted to coffee or being addicted to some substance to help me make it through the day is just not healthy, right? Any way you look at it, it's just not healthy. And so maybe for you, it's not a caffeine overload, but maybe your issue is more that you're not eating properly, that maybe you go to sugar as your energy substance of the day. You have like these sugar attacks where you have a sugary breakfast, a sugary lunch, sugar at dinner, sugar and snacks all day in between, and you're just eating poorly. Or maybe you're actually skipping meals altogether because you're too overwhelmed, you got way too much to do, you can't even find the time to eat properly. And then guess what? You're not exercising. So all of that sort of snowballs into your body not functioning at its highest capacity. You have sort of this cloudy mind, fog brain. I think many of you probably use that term or have heard that term, where you're just sort of like not with it. Where like you're forgetting things a lot more than you should, right? Where you're just not able to like keep on top of things. And you find yourself like feeling like you're behind the 8 ball all the time. And you're like, but how did I miss that? How did I forget about that? Like, you know, you're going to your phone, needing to set 1,001 reminders, having 1,001 notes, because otherwise, like, you literally will not keep it together. Which leads into, you know, another signal is that you spend a lot of time during the day worried about time. You spend time throughout the day worried about time, meaning there's not enough of it. It's going too fast. There's not enough of it to fit in all that you have planned, need, should be doing in a given day. And so we become preoccupied with the time that's passing by, how long it's taking to do something, because we've set ourselves up in this position of not having enough time to do the things that we actually need to do. And what goes hand in hand with that, when you feel like there's not enough time, is one, you're short on patience, right? Because you don't have time for all of the antics. You don't have time for the discussion, the conversation, the back and forth. You don't have time for the delays and the traffic and all of that stuff. And so you live your life in a state of like anxiety, like your body and your heart rate is like pumping faster than it should, because you're trying to get here and you have to get there, and you can't be late here, because then if you're late here, then that's going to snowball into everything else just not falling into place in the way that it should be. And so then you become preoccupied and consumed by thoughts of worry and anxiety and concern about things falling through the cracks, you not doing what you need to do, whether that's at home or at work, personally for yourself, right? And then your mind becomes so anxious and so worried about not having enough time, so worried about the next thing you have to do, that it stifles your productivity. It stifles creativity and just being a happy, joyful, lovely person to be around. And you live in sort of this regular, constant state of worry and just not being in a good place. And so that for sure is another signal. You guys know my nose always decides to itch when I get on these live shoots. I don't know why. And so then I look crazy trying to scratch it, and then it's annoying me that I can't scratch it. So just excuse me and my nose. Excuse me and my nose. I think it means someone's thinking about me. Is that what you guys have heard about when your nose itches? Someone's thinking about you. That's what I tell myself at least. So anyways, another sign, right? Another signal that's telling you take a break is headaches. Headaches. So headaches come from a variety of sources, but I think a lot of times headaches come from not drinking enough water, not feeding and nourishing your body in the right way, not getting enough sleep, not having the right mix of nutrients, not being at peace, right? I mean, you hear of a headache, like the symbolism of a headache, but then there's like actually physical headache where you need to like take some medication to relieve it, or at least you think you need to take some medication to relieve it, because you don't even know where the source of this headache is even coming from. It could be so many things, because guess what? You're not really taking care of yourself. So headaches are another telltale sign from your body that you need to take a break. You need to do something to refresh, recharge, re-energize yourself in some way. Another sign is you just don't have the time for fun stuff, right? This means that you're not connecting with the people that you love. You don't have a meaningful connection with them, right? I've gotten to the place with my friends, and I'm guilty of this, where if I want to talk to them, I try to literally schedule time, because everyone is so busy, and it's so weird to say like, hey, when are you free this week for a conversation? Like, let me put it on my calendar. But I would say that if nothing else, that's probably a well-adaptive behavior to lack of connection with people, right? So when I do that, I'm actively reaching out to connect with people. I recognize how easy it is to lose that connection. But I think if you find yourself in a place that you can't even make the time for that, right? Where if your friend is reaching out to you and the best you can offer them in terms of a time to have like a 10-minute conversation is 2 weeks from now, that is a signal that whatever else you got going on, you need to take a break from. You need to take a break, because as we talked about earlier in this series, in the self-care challenge, connection, being in relation, being in healthy, fulfilling, helpful relation with other people is a huge component of self-care. We are human beings built for connection, especially women. And so if you aren't having the time to connect with the people that can uplift you, encourage you, and empower you, then you need to take notice of that, because that's going to further lead to isolation. And we know that once you're isolated, that leads you to be vulnerable to a lot of other mental health challenges, anxiety, depression, you know, the gamut of things can happen there. And so you want to make sure that you are remaining connected to people. And then within that, which is just an extension of that, is that you find that your relationships are just suffering. So even the people that you are in connection with, like you're on edge, you're unhappy with them, they're frustrating you, they're annoying you, they can't get it right. Like everything is just going wrong in those relationships to you. And it's not that they've done something so egregious, right? And if that's your situation, that's definitely a conversation for another time. But like just them being is annoying to you. Their breathing, the way they eat their food, the way they sleep at night, the way they walk into a room, the way they turn the channel on the TV all the time. Once you find that you're just like nitpicky at like everything that other people are doing, that again is a sign for you, hold up, take a break. Like just take a breather, collect yourself, get it together, give yourself a break. Because you're not giving them a break for sure. And part of that is because you haven't created the emotional space, the physical space, the spiritual space, the intellectual space, the mental space, the sensory space, all of those different components of self-care. You haven't created that for yourself so that you can be thriving within your own body, within your own being, your own mind, your own soul, right? When you're not thriving for yourself, then everything else in your life suffers. Everything else in your life struggles. Everything else in your life has an issue or a challenge or a trial. And the solution is always you. Like, you are always the solution to any circumstance, any experience, any situation that you are experiencing in life that is causing you upset, frustration, annoyance, anger, sadness, whatever the case may be. So I really want you to get that point and to pay attention to the signals that your body offers you day in and day out, which again, just for summary, are waking up tired and remaining tired throughout the day, needing caffeine to make it through the day, or some sugary substance, or you're not eating well, or you're skipping meals and you're just not exercising, that you are having headaches, constant, frequent, regular headaches, that you don't have time for anything that brings you joy, including connecting with other people or just doing fun things for yourself. You find yourself easily frustrated and impatient and annoyed with everyone and everything. So those are just some of the signs I wanted to share that are screaming to you, take a break, take a break, take a break, take a break, take a break. Okay? Now, of course, right, you guys know me by now. I'm like a solutions-oriented person. Of course, I have some way for you to take a break, right? I mean, this challenge in and of itself is hopefully teaching you to press pause on the chaos of life, right? You're just pressing pause in the moments that you're watching this live stream, the moments you're doing the challenge activities, you're tuning into yourself. I think yesterday's challenge, especially with the journal prompts and those questions, really helped you tune into yourself and understand what's going on with you, Superwoman, right? You now know why you keep putting on that cape and why you can't take it off, right? So that's tuning into yourself and then connecting, reconnecting, and getting in the presence of God, which hopefully many of you were able to do today through today's challenge activity, which was to take 10 and listen to the Abide app. And so all of that, right, all of these activities that we are doing in this challenge, and we're not done yet, so don't you worry, I am going to tell you what tomorrow's challenge is. But all of those exercises and activities and the things that we're doing together collectively as a group are really all towards this goal of self-care, of really responding to what our body is telling us, responding to what our soul is telling us, responding to what our mind is telling us, and that we just need to take a break. We just need a moment to get away. Right? Whether that's mentally, physically, spiritually, we need to like close the door on doing all of the things, of being all of the things to all of the people, right? And we need to get away unto ourselves. And I am over the moon excited about an experience that I have created that is designed to do just that. Many of you have already seen, heard, signed up for, booked your hotel rooms for this experience that I have created called the Glam Getaway. It's glam because I'm a glamour girl at heart. I love sparkle, I love pretty, I love girly, I love, you know, anything that makes me feel pampered and beautiful. So there's definitely that aspect to this getaway. But even more important than that, and that stuff is really important, even more important than the glitz and the glam of it all, is what GLAM stands for, which means God's love abides in me. And this is a time for us to really center ourselves on our foundation, because the foundation of who we are as human beings, as individuals, as creations in this world, that foundation is in God. And if we don't feel his love, if we don't feel connected to him, if we don't know who we are in relation to him, then we'll never be able to get this self-care thing right, because who is the self that we are even trying to care for if we've disconnected or don't have an intimate connection with the creator of that self? And so the Glam Getaway is all about that. It's all about it's reestablishing, reconnecting, developing a very intentional and intense and powerful connection to God, right? This is not like church, because all of us can go to church. All of us can have church. All of us can be a part of that experience. And that's not knocking church, because I love church. I go to church, all of that stuff. But a lot of times when it comes to our religious practices, we get in the mode of doing it and not being it, not experiencing it, not encountering God in the way that he would truly have us connect with him. And so the Glam Getaway will offer you the opportunity to do that while being in community and fellowship with other women who are doing the same. Because let's be honest, as women, we like to be around each other. We like to be around positive, encouraging, and inspiring, and beautiful and gorgeous people who are there for us, who are there for themselves, who are there to uplift us all together. And that is what I'm creating in this experience. I've got a tremendous team of individuals who are supporting, involved, engaged, and working towards this event in some way, shape, or form. And we would love to see you there. We would absolutely love to see you there. So for sure, you can find all the details. I'm actually going to type it in right now. Let's see. If you haven't seen it already, I want you to check it out. Because you need a break, right? Whether that break comes through participating in the Glam Getaway, that break comes by secluding yourself in your own hotel room, in your own local community, whatever the case may be, you need a break. If any of these 6 signs ring true for you, you need a break. And I would love for the Glam Getaway to be that break for you, because I promise you an incredible, unforgettable, magnificent time, okay? So that was just a little bit about the Glam Getaway. Now, back to what I want you to do for tomorrow's challenge, which will be day 4. You can start it tonight if you have the time and the energy to do so. And so what I want you to do is move your body, right? So in this live stream, we've already talked about the signals from our bodies that we need a break. And I want you to move your body for 10 or 15 minutes. That can look like anything, right? I'm not saying go to the gym. I'm not saying go get a personal trainer. I'm not saying like do Billy Blank's Taibo. I'm not saying run around and do, you know, burpees and sit-ups and all of those techniques that a personal trainer may teach you. If you can do those things, wonderful. There was a point when I could do them. Long gone now. Maybe I'll get back to it. But I just want you to move your body. And I'll tell you a story. When I had both Madison and Benjamin, you know, and I was home with them and I couldn't really get out to the gym and we didn't have a treadmill, I Googled YouTube, like walking videos, like when it was cold outside, right? And I couldn't actually go outside to take a walk. I Googled walking videos. Or I went on our on-demand on our TV and just found like exercise videos there, because I was like, I've spent enough money into these exercise DVDs and videos, and then I don't use them, and then I feel guilty. So it doesn't have to cost you a dime, right? There were times, especially when I was wearing my Fitbit and I was in Fitbit challenges, I would literally just like walk around the house, like find extra reasons to walk around the house. I'd go into the basement and literally just like walk around and circle the basement. So moving your body and getting some exercise does not have to mean you're going to the gym. It can mean you are literally walking in place in front of your TV, because that's what I did. That's what I did. Leslie Sandstone has amazing walking videos. You can find them on YouTube. You can probably find them on your cable on demand if that's what you have. So I want you to find some way to move your body for 10 to 15 minutes. And that could also be dancing. You can put in your calm song. You can find a new playlist of music and just dance for 10 or 15 minutes. It doesn't matter exactly what you do, but it matters that you do it. And so I want you to find 10 to 15 minutes minimum to move your body. Just move your body. Get your feet, off the floor. Put them back on the floor and get them off the floor again. Like, move your body, whether that's walking around your house, walking outside, if the weather permits you to do that where you live, or you find a video on YouTube, find something on your TV, or get on your own treadmill if you have one in your house. Whatever it is, move your body for 10 to 15 minutes. We already know the benefits of exercise, right? We already know. Like, we hear about it all the time. It has those wonderful endorphins that uplift us, that increase our mood, that make us feel better and happier. It reduces stress, anxiety. It reduces depression. It makes us feel accomplished, right? All of those things, nothing but positive, yet we come up with excuse after excuse after excuse for why we can't do it. And so let's let go of those excuses. Let's find 10 to 15 minutes and let's move our bodies. That's all I want you to do for tomorrow. Move your body. Observe how much better you feel after doing it. Okay? And I know that you will. So don't make it a big production. Just move your body for 10 to 15 minutes. Your family may think you're crazy if what you decide to do is a walking video in the house, but that's okay, right? We already established in yesterday's live stream that self-care may require that you do things that other people are going to judge. So what? Let them judge. You're going to be feeling those good endorphins, those good hormones. You're going to be pumping your heart in a healthy way, and you're going to get the benefit. And maybe it'll spur you to start exercising and to keep it up. Even if it's just 10 minutes a day. There was literally a point in time where all I did was walk on the treadmill for 10 minutes a day. And I felt amazing about that, and I felt incredible for doing it. So I hope that you will have the same experience. And if you're already an avid exerciser, bravo for you. Bravo for you. Tell us your secrets so that we can all get on that bandwagon, because everybody can benefit from exercise. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you in the comments. Have a good night.